Well, good evening, everybody. It's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. So we're having another video, and this time the video that we're made. My goodness, I simply just forgot the ability to speak there. That's awesome. The card we're going to make tonight is the one that I gave you a sneak peek of this morning, and it uses the very nice new Christmas quilt stamp set and the bundled Quilt Builder frameless dies. Now, not only can you get this with a 10% savings on through my online store, just purchasing it through Stampin' Up, I also have some bundles going on right now that gives you about a 15% discount, and you can get the Quilt Builder framelets, the Christmas quilt, some DSP, and a few other goodies. So I would urge you to check it out. Go check it out on my blog site if you would. All right, let's see if we got anybody on. It looks like I'm on. Hey, Patricia and Kathy and Paula and Karen. How are you guys? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. If you've been on for a second, I'm sorry. I'm kind of behind. I don't know what's going on. I've got, I guess, a lot going on. Anyway, here is the card that we're going to work tonight. Not the traditional colors for Christmas, garden green and night of navy, but I'll tell you a little story as we get going on. This is kind of Christmassy for me, but here's the inside. And then of course we have the matching envelope, which I'm going to hold on to tonight so that I can find it when we get to the end. So let us go ahead and get going. Hey Barbara, thank you for joining, and Kathy, appreciate it. All right, and y'all, if you join and I don't say hello, it's just because I haven't looked over quick enough to see your comment and see you joining, and just give me another shout and I promise I'll probably even find you. Hey Jean, welcome. Hey Linda, sitting here eating candy corn. Linda, oh goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, as usual, all of the card cuts and the products that you'll need will be listed tomorrow on my blog, but here we go. This one, if you look at the card, is kind of thick. It's got multiple layers, and so when it came time to make my card base, I used regular Whisper White cardstock instead of the thick stuff because I just don't need it. Kathy, we're having problems. Hang on just a second, guys. Let me see if I can help Kathy get on. Just 1 minute. All right, let's see if we can do it. Anyway, this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded at 5.5 inches, and this is the regular weight Whisper White cardstock for the card base. I've got a couple of pieces of Night of Navy that are our usual 4 inches by 5 1/4, and you can see I have done a little bit of cheating, and I have cut my scallop circle right out of the middle of one of those, because why not? It's already thick, and why not conserve my cardstock? All right, let's see what we got. Hey, Christina and Ann and Karen, I appreciate you guys joining. Hey, Jean. All right, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Christmas quilt DSP stack, but this is really fun. It's garden green, real red, and white, and those are the colors. It's got a few little pinks and some light blues in it, but those are not the predominant colors. You can see how fun this is. So I've got a piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 for my card front, and I've already cut one piece out with the die, so we'll show you that in just a second. Then I have a middle DSP layer at 4 3/8 by 2 5/8 with its 1/8 inch all the way around bigger mat. And then I have what will be my sentiment panel in Whisper White at 2 5/8 by 3 1/2, and it's matte. And then a stitched shapes framelit die in circle, and this is the largest circle die in the stitched shape. And then there's the largest scalloped die in the layering circles for the for the sentiment mat. All right, now let's take a quick look at these fun. Hey Sue, hey Karen, glad you guys could join. Now, so you'll see that this is still piled in my envelope. Let me tell you why. There's actually two reasons. One of which is I don't always put the mini catalog dies on my magnet cards because I'm not real sure if they're going to keep going. It isn't that they don't deserve a magnet, of course they do, but it's just is easier to leave them off of the magnets, and so that's what I do. And then if I see that it's carrying over, which now that I've played with this one I really hope it does because it is cool, once it carries over then I would give it a magnet die. The other reason is I'm fixing to take all of my holiday catalog goodies with me to Utah, and those magnet cards weigh a lot, so as many things as I can keep in my envelopes, I will do that. Hang on a second, y'all, just a sec. I'm not real sure. Brooke and Kathy. And there we were. Yes. Okay. So hopefully Brooke Berger will come on. Okay. So let's see if we can get him on. It's kind of hard sometimes because people want to go to the original post on my site. All right. Okay. So anyway, we're going to use a couple of these dies today. Not this one, although this one is fun. All this does, this is so cool. You cut out, and I'm sorry I've got the sniffles today. You can cut out the outline of these quilted pieces, and then you can lay this over the top of it and cut it, or you can cut them both at the same time if you're really good and you use your magnet or some sticky notes. And what this little die does is it cuts holes to look like stitches, and it is really fun. It really makes it look like it is a quilted piece. So this is fun. Then we're going to use these dies to make a little outline. And then there's a whole bunch of other ones that I don't even get into. So there is a lot of possibility with this little set, and I really do love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right, Brooke, you made it. Yay! All right. Hey, Karen. Yep. You've never gotten rid of anything. Well, yeah, I get rid of stuff once it goes non-current. Okay, so let's hang on to those and put it aside, and let's start making us a card, shall we, ladies? All right, and then we've got an inner liner piece. So the first thing I'm going to do is start fast fusing my my DSP to the mats. And I toyed with changing this up to be red and green for this one, but I really like this blue and green, and I will tell you why. When I was growing up, and you'll see this story tomorrow, so you'll be like, oh my gosh, that woman, she just tells the same stories over and over again. Hey, Kirsty. Hey, Mary. Ooh, I love the needle and thread. Yep, I'm going to have to be trying that one for sure. All right. Anyway, when I was growing up in Southern California, Garden Grove, actually, we always had these big, you remember the big old Christmas lights you put on the outside of the house? The big ones, you know, they were like ginormous. Ours were green and blue every year. Green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, blue. And it was, well, I wanted a different color. I don't know what color I wanted. I don't know if I wanted multicolor like all the other kids had. Hey, Kirsty, oh, I already said hello. Sorry, I'm losing it. Anyway, I always wanted either multicolor or white. For the life of me, I don't know now which ones I wanted. All I knew is that blue and green was very pretty, but it was boring, and it didn't really say Christmas. But now that I'm 29, this kind of does seem like Christmas to me, so I was good with it. I played along with the challenge that gave it to me. You know, it was blue, green, and white. And I, all by myself, came up with the idea of making it a Christmas card because of what I did. What I grew up with. So there you have it. It's the little things. But I did change around, instead of going with red, I did kind of change up the DSPs just a tiny bit, because you know I can, and why wouldn't I? See how this one looks like quilted holly? Also, I've had some feedback, y'all, that when I move stuff, my phone auto focuses, and I have no idea how to make it stop that. So I will apologize ahead of time for that, for the blurriness that you're gonna see, I'm quite sure. So anyway, we'll get that on there like that. And then we're going to make the art piece right here. We're gonna make this right here. And I'm going to get some more whisper white because I don't have enough. Hang on a minute, y'all. Hang on a sec, I gotta cut a little more paper. I gotta cut a little more paper because I didn't cut enough paper. Let's get a piece that will go through my Big Shot Easy. I'm gonna make it a little bigger just to give me a little bit of a buffer. All right, here we go. Now, this is in the interest of true confession. I'm going to tell you, I had a little trouble getting this little quilt thing to line up right. So I'm going to try to make it work better this time, and I'm going to, even though this is a photopolymer set, I'm going to use my Stamp-N-Majig. So let's see how that works. Let's see if that works a little better for me, because I made a bunch of these before I got it. It's a little bit of a, you know, obsessive compulsive thing. If it wasn't perfect, I was fixing it. So there's two little pieces that we're going to use, and they're this fun striped piece, and then there's also the dotted piece. So we're going to use both of those, and we're also going to use this outline. So I'm going to first stamp the outline. This one doesn't need the Stamp-N-Majig. I'm going to stamp the outline on a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to cut this out. Scrap cardstock. Alright. And we're going to do this one in Night of Navy. Alright. We'll set that aside because I'm going to use it a few more times. And then, like I said, I'm going to use the Stamp-N-Majig. It's a little counterintuitive, but I had a heck of a time seeing it, and I don't know if it's, you know, when you get to be 29, your eyes start to go a little bit. So I don't know if it's that or what it is exactly, but it kind of drove me batty. And so let's see what we can get here. How about that? All right. Now, these little guys, they only go in one spot on this. So when you first put it on, if it doesn't look right, panic not. It'll line up eventually. You'll get it. See right there? Okay. There we go. All right. So let's see. That doesn't seem right, does it? Hang on, people. Y'all are learning with me right now. You're learning with me right now. All right. That's gonna have to be, that is just not right. I don't think that's gonna make a difference, y'all. Hang on a second. I wonder if I've got my stamp turned around. What we have here is a failure to look very professional, so you know. You see, I can't hardly wait until I hit 30 because then I'll be, you know, almost over the hill, I'm pretty sure. All right. So heading away. Let's see what we get here. That's pretty close. I'll take that for $1. I'll take that for $1, Alex. And then it goes, you can see it skips one and it goes to the next one. Alright. Well, this is why I don't sew, people, because I'm not very good at it. Alright, now let's do the other one. And we're going to do it in Garden Green. I am 29, Karen. I'm 29 plus shipping and handling. And let's just say I'm getting second day expedited air with Saturday delivery. Which means I'm ancient. I'm practically ancient. Okay. And then the other one is garden green, the little dottly dots. We'll get these. And I'm trying to not get all head up about that being uneven, because, you know, it is what it is. The shipping and handling part, Marnie, is that the one? Yeah, I'm definitely shipping and handling, yeah. Okay, let that get dry a little bit. And then let's get our big shot over here with our magnetic platform. And all we need is the outline die. Thank you, Kathy. You're very sweet. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're just going to get this lined up. And we're going to do a little playing with the with this shape. Can you see how nicely it lines up? This is definitely a good time to use your magnetic platform, people. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford the weight allowance on my luggage to take my magnetic platform with me. I may have to hand carry it. It's bad news when you take luggage and one suitcase has clothing in it and the other one has all of your stamping stuff in it. It might be considered weird by some people. I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to keep this out because I want to cut another little piece. I don't need that. Why did you pick that up, Mary? What I'm going to do is I have a piece of Night of Navy, and I'm going to use this shape right here. This is the square, and I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to do a little snipping, and we're going to make like a border for that piece we just made. Yes, I can absolutely ship myself some stuff. And I probably will. I try to not ship to myself because I always have to ship home because I always order more stuff while I'm gone. It's kind of an addiction, y'all. I'm a little embarrassed by it. But let's just say that the people at the hotel get very familiar with my name, my room number, and the UPS driver. So let's put this out the way for just a second. We're going to get him back in a minute to do a little embossing, but let me show you what we have made here. So this is kind of fun, and if you see these little pieces that are being cut out, remember them, put them in your kit bag that this does this, because you could make this shape right here and stop and then cut it again with perhaps another piece of the DSP. And then you could use these little cutouts inside this little shape and some of these. And so then you could do every other one, or you could do anything that you wanted. So I think these are fun. It hurts me to throw them away, but I'm going to because, you know, I'm trying to be good and not make a mess. Not an addiction. It's more dedication. Oh, that's sweet. That is sweet. I'm going to tell my husband that you said that so that he will know that it is. Amy Cunders. Yeah, you are actually, you're my dealer. So you started this. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm fixing to cut this inside piece out. And so I'm going to just do a straight cut there, and I want it to be as close to being like a point as I can get it. Okay, like so. And I'll just do that all the way around. It's a little persnickety, but it isn't awful. There's way worse fussy cutting on the planet. Glad you could join us, Amy. Appreciate that. Let's see, Mary, all 5 of my cards yesterday were done with those pieces and no stamping. Oh, see, Mary, I have to ask you, do you quilt? Do you do regular quilting with like an actual sewing machine and fabric? Because if you do, 1, I'm very impressed, and 2, you have to just be loving this set then. I can't sew a straight seam on a straight piece of fabric. It's not good. My husband and I used to work way long ago. He worked in a shoe repair shop, and after I got done with work, I would go there, and sometimes I could actually do some stitch repair as long as it was only 4 or 5 stitches and it was pretty straight and pretty straightforward. And often I had to have him help me, because me and sewing machines, I have like a mental block on them. Oh, Sue, it's so not cheaper than drinking. Certainly not for me, because as soon as I drink anything to speak of, I fall asleep. So I can have like 1 drink. I'm the world's cheapest date, really. So this is way more expensive for me than drinking ever thought of being. God help us all. All right, where did my little piece go? That's the question of the day. Oh, it's right in front of me. Good golly. Okay, so see now what we're going to do here, and this is why I kind of didn't get too head up, because I can deal with that a little bit, is I'm going to put a little liquid glue on this and adhere it over the top of that other piece. Oh, you're allergic to, okay, so this is your quilting, eh, Mary? Good. I'm glad. I always feel a little inferior when I know people who sew. I'm apparently yakking too much because my throat's starting to tell me it's time for a drink. Alrighty. There we go. Benny got to go see his sister today, and he had a big time with her. I tell you what, folks, it is so fun to watch those 2 dogs. Obviously, his sister is also an Aussie. And they gallop around just below the speed of sound. I know this because there is no sonic boom, but they are very fast, and they can turn on a dime, and they do. And they roll each other and carry on. Ugh. And they're just laughing and grinning the whole time, and then they fly somewhere and lay down in the shade to rest because they get too hot, and they're smart enough to find the shade. So it's a fun time. Alright, so we're just going to line that up with the edges. I did a spot-on job, didn't I? No. Let's get that fixed. I'm going to show you a little trick to fix this mess here in about 2 seconds. It's a little thing I like to call the Stamp-N-Right markers. Yeah. Alright. Pamela, thank you. I do like this color combo too. Like I said, it was one of the challenges this week. I'm trying to think who it was. It was Color Throwdown. Hopefully I'll be able to find a spot to pull over tomorrow and get my cards entered. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to help this a little bit with my Night of Navy Stamp-N-Right marker. Not too harsh, because I don't want it to be so darned obvious and have people go, oh my goodness. But I'm going to just touch it down just like so. So now all that I'm going to do is I'm going to first use a little liquid glue and put this stitch shape framelit. Remember, this was the largest circle die. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue and put it on its scalloped circle mat in Night of Navy. And then I'm going to pull out the pre-cut. This is the same outline die as I used before. And I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue, like this, to adhere, like so, these 2 pieces. And I just want to kind of wiggle it around a little bit so that it's a little flowery, a little starry, a little rock and roll. There we go, like that. And then I'll use some more of this on the back and put it on the art piece, the circle, like so. Like a so. Thank you, Karen. All right, so that's going to dry for a second, and now we're going to make the sentiment panel. Now, I have told you in the past that when you're going to emboss a piece, a dry emboss, cut your panel a little bit larger. There's another way to do it, and that's how I did it on this particular card. So let's do this. Here's my card front. I know that my sentiment is going to sit about there, and then I know that my circle is going to sit about here, like that. And here's the size of my card base, and I'm going to show you why I'm doing this. And no, Paula, I am not adhering the card front to the base without having done the inside. I'm simply doing a dry fit to be sure I get everything where I want it. Because, as I've said in the past, I do actually like to overlap my card base a little bit. I like how that looks. So I know that my artwork is going to go approximately there. Like so. Put another on the back and I would have an ornament. Yes, 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 yes. And yes, it does look like a Moravian star. See, I don't think it was meant to be a Moravian star, but look what you can do with this set. It's awesome. Really, really awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to get my sentiment out. And it's a nice one. This is another stamp set with a gorgeous font. I really, really love this font. And I'm going to ink up in Night of Navy. And I'm going to set it aside for a second. And I'm moving this. I did not mean to do that. Do not do that at home, people. That just is another step to do. Goodness. You know why that happened? Yep, you're right. Glue on my fingers. Alright, so let's get this set. Alright, like so. May seem a little persnickety, but it's worth it in the end so that you have things where you want them. Alright, and then I'm just going to pick this whole thing up like so. I'm going to put my silicone mat down, and then I'm just going to pick up the card front and put that on like so. Y'all watching? Okay. And now I know pretty much where I'm going to put my sentiment. And I can move that aside. Like so. Line it up. And a quick stamp. Easy peasy. Alright. Alright, that worked out pretty well. It's a great set, Brooke. It really is fun. It's taken me a minute to use it. I'm not sure why, but now that I have, I can assure you I will be doing more fun things with it. Get some fast fuse running here. So this is my second way of doing a dry emboss. I'm going to, you can see, before I embossed it, I did the sentiment because it's really hard to get a good image with a sentiment, or really anything, if you've already embossed your panel. Ask me how I know. Alright, and then I'm going to put this on its mat, like so. And then we're going to find the quilt tops. Hang on a second, y'all. Boy, was I not ready at all today. Here we go. Alright. I'm coming. I'm coming. I didn't leave you. Hang on. Alright, here we go back with Mr. Big Shot. Mr. Big Shot. And I have switched out to my other platform because you really cannot emboss, I don't think, on the magnetic platform. And so then I'm just going to stick this right in, make sure I have the emboss side correct. And we'll give that a quick roll through. So yes, I am embossing the sentiment panel already matted to its mat. And that works just perfect. There you go, Pamela. You see? It doesn't take us long to figure out a reason we need a new set. It's really very easy, and you should send your mother-in-law a beautiful card that you've made with it and thank her for her inspiration. All right. So, see how that worked? When I first did this, I thought, oh dear, you really can't read the sentiment, but that is not a true statement. That is, in fact, a lying statement. It's not true at all. All right, so now I'm going to take this. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue and put it on my card front. And of course, I'm going to keep my little star out because I want to be sure I've got room. All right, that looks about right. And if you guys recognize it, this is also a challenge layout. That'll be just about perfect. Just about perfect. Alrighty. All right, now I'm going to top my star with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Pam, if you're going to get this set, I would urge you to look at my bundles because it'll save you some money, honey. And who doesn't like to save money, honey? All right. Once again, I'm going to lay it over my card front, my card base, sorry. I like how that white pops with the blue and the green. I'm going to push it right over the edge of my, right over the edge. Okay. It's interesting when you can see a set used, then it helps to realize that it is something that you want and could use. And this is definitely one of those sets. All right, so we're going to put this on here like so. Okay, come here, baby. Come here and be good to Mama now. All right, there we go. We'll take that. Yeah. And give it a little push. Put this out the way. And then I'm going to make, thank you, Karen. Yep, that's right, Mary. This is actually a good set to do with a class, I would think, because it does let people see all the possibilities. Don't forget to point out to people the samples in the catalog too. You know, that's good inspiration to see what they can do. So all I've done is taken a double length of my Whisper White solid baker's twine, and I've tied myself a little bow like so. And I'm going to place it right there, right after I put a garden green enamel dot on there. Let me find my garden green. There we go. Yep. Back. I'll use one of the large ones and put it right in the middle there. It just kind of makes it pop. It finishes it off, you know what I mean? And then I'm going to put a little dab of liquid glue here, like so. Where do I get my ideas? Well, it depends. I do look at Pinterest. I try not to case a lot. I mean, direct cases like smack dab. Oh my gosh, that card is a direct case. I just try not to do it. So what ends up happening is I'll look at Pinterest and I see something and it sits and festers in my brain for a while. And then I end up combining things. So something I saw on this card and then something I saw on this card and maybe a fun fold I saw on another card, and then I kind of try to combine them. So I did see in the catalog, I saw this stamped and cut out star quilt shape over a solid cut out quilt shape, and so then I kind of just took it from there. All right, so people, that is our card front right there, and we're going to set that aside and make us an inner liner right quick. Mary laughing, you could be a demonstrator. You see, Anne is trying to help you out, Mary. She's an enabler. She's your dealer, like Amy was my dealer. I know. All right, now somewhere over the rainbow. Okay, here we go. Silicone mat. Now, all I'm going to do is see what I just dropped on the floor. It's just a brush that I don't need. What we're going to do here is this. We're going to just put this little shape in the corner again. And I'm going to do it first. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. I'm kind of happy with this one. I really believe it's the color combination, though, from the color throwdown. It turned out to be a perfect color combination, really. All right, now I'm going to turn this over so that I don't get ink on the back of my card on the off chance that I screw this up, because God, that'll never happen, and need to use my other side. All right, here comes the head, folks. Sorry. All right. And we'll set that aside. And then I think I better wipe that off because I'm getting ready to make a mess. Yes, ma'am, Stamps-N-Lingers would be more than happy to help Mary out. More than happy. It would be Mary and Mary. Perfect combination. All right, so now I'm going to do my little dot image in green. Like so. Sorry, head in the way. Move it out the way. All right, and now I'm going to set this aside so that it dries, and while it's drying, I'm going to do the same exact thing on the front of my Whisper White envelope. All right. Oh, that's a good idea. You know what? I even have a piece of that. Good idea. Alrighty, so let's fix up our envelope. But where did it go? What did I do with it? I don't know. Wait a minute. It will show up here in just 1 second. Or it will not, and then I will just get another one. Alright, here we go. Alright, so back out with the... Amy is a dealer. It's okay to say it. You're amongst friends here. Alright. She knows what she's done. You see how quiet she's being now? She's probably going to try to say something about putting her kids to bed. No, she's just keeping a low profile because of all the people she's hooked. All the people she's hooked. Alright. Okay. And then the green. See, look at you. Ooh, lemon lime twist would be pretty with this. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, it sure would. It sure would. Uh-oh, look what I almost did right there. That would have been yougly. That would have been yougly. Would have been so yougly. Alright, and so there's the front of the envelope. And now we can set the things that are likely to get all over my white card base, like a white t-shirt. Thank you for the idea of using the printer paper. Very good idea. I should have thought of it myself, but it was apparently too obvious for me to see. Alright, so let's get this hooked up here, and we will be done. And y'all can get on with your week. Alrighty, here we go. First we'll put this inner liner onto its mat. Alright. Amy knows nothing. Please. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Alright. Yes, she knows it's true, Mary. I'm not saying Amy is a hooker. She'd be more like I don't even want to say that P word, like a pimp, because that just sounds wrong. She'd be more like daddy. I've seen a lot of Law and Order, and I'm pretty sure they call their enablers daddy. She'd be mama. How many people have you hooked, mama? A lot. I would say probably a lot. Alright, and here we go. Remember, this is not the thick Whisper White. This one happens to be with regular because the card base itself is already pretty stout. Oh, thank you, Paula. That is so sweet. Alright, so we're going to pop the front on with Poppin' Dimensionals. Yeah. They could have been called that, you guys. Poppin' Dimensionals. That. Like that. Okey-doke. See, I have a danger zone right here, people. Let me fix this. Danger, 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 Will Robinson, danger. See, I'm going to go to work tomorrow. I'm going to have all this ink all over me, and people are going to be like, what in the world is wrong with you, Mary? Well, it's a little thing I like to call inky fingers. Alrighty, here we go. Thank you, Jean. Yep, Marnie, you need to. Amy, look. You know what is that? Is that a Shakespeare play? The lady doth protest too much. Ah, that's what you are doing. You are protesting too much, Amy. You're doth protesting too much. Stop dothing. All right, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Boom. I kind of love this little set, y'all. Look how pretty that is. And here's our envelope. We'll put a little bit of the DSP on the back. On the flap. I'm looking forward to playing with some of the other stamps and dies, like the thread and the needle. I saw a cute card with the needle, and it was, I'm trying to remember what she did, but it was very cute. Alright. Now, here's a tip with this paper. You do want to check that you've actually got the edge of the paper down below the top of this, because it is red, and it shows up if you don't have it down there like that. So just double check before you get too far along and before your glue has dried to the point that you cannot remedy the situation, because it is real blatant, real obvious to everybody if it's sticking over the top of the envelope. Alright, and there we go. Thank you, Judy. Welcome. Thank you, Christina. I didn't see what Marnie said because it scrolled down. Therefore, she didn't even say it. It didn't even happen. I do not acknowledge anyone giving you a pass on your enabling ways, Miss Amy. All right, there we go, people. Quilted Christmas quilt stamp set, and the Quilt Builder framelits. And you can get this as part of my special bundle right now, about 15% savings. So get it quick. You'll get some extra peppermint points, and that'll lead you to free things. So, Oh, most of my cards are your favorite, but this one is your favorite with the capitals. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. I'm so glad y'all spent a little bit of your Sunday evening with me. So just listen up one more second. Next Sunday, I'm traveling to Utah. I'm getting in early. I may be able to get it together to do a video, but I don't know. And I may not know until we're getting close to, in the afternoon. So watch my Facebook page to see. I'll post updates if I'm going to be able to do it or if I'm not. And hopefully I'll be able to get things set up. And if nothing else, get back at it the following week. So keep your fingers crossed for next week. I know I am, but I make no promises. All right. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.